Hello everyone. In this video, we will study soil pollution, what are the causes and effects. Soil pollution is defined as the presence of toxic chemicals, that is pollutants or contaminants in soil in high enough concentrations to pose a risk to human health and the ecosystem. Soil pollution is defined as the contamination of soil by human and natural activities which may cause harmful effect on living organisms. It is important to understand that all soils contain compounds that are harmful or toxic to human beings and other living organisms. However, the concentration of such substances in unpolluted soil is low enough that they do not pose any threat to the surrounding ecosystem. When the concentration of one or more such toxic substances is high enough to cause damage to living organisms, the soil is said to be contaminated. The root cause of soil pollution is often one of the agriculture. In agriculture, the excessive or improper use of pesticides. Another may be excessive industrial activity, and the one more is poor management or inefficient disposal of waste. The challenges faced in soil remediation are closely related to the extent of soil pollution. The greater the contamination, the greater the requirement of resources for remediation. For example, exposure to soil containing high concentrations of benzene increases the risk of contracting leukemia. Let us see the types of soil pollution. Phenomena such as erosion, loss of organic carbon, increased salt content, compacting, acidification, and chemical pollution are the major causes of current soil degradation. Moreover, the FAO, Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, distinguishes between two types of soil pollution. One is the specific pollution, which is accounted by particular causes occurring in small areas, the reasons for which can be easily identified. Land pollution such as this is normally found in cities, old factory sites, around roadways, illegal dumps, and sewage treatment stations. The other one is the widespread pollution, which covers extensive areas and has several causes, the reasons for which are difficult to identify. Causes such as these involve the spreading of pollutants by air, ground, water systems and seriously affect human health and the environment. The soil is the skin of the earth, a mantle full of scars, 1,000-year-old wrinkles, and more recent injuries caused both by man and nature itself. Some of these ulcers are incurable, such as the extinction of species, whereas others jeopardize health and food security, all of which threaten the well being of the world's 3.2 billion inhabitants, as made clear in the latest report on soil degradation by the Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services. Now, let us see what are the pollutants which contaminate the soil. Some of the most hazardous soil pollutants are xenobiotics, which are the substances that are not naturally found in nature and are synthesized by human beings. Look at the picture. The different types of pollutants which are found in contaminated soil are shown here. Let us come to the heavy metals. The presence of heavy metals such as lead and mercury in abnormally high concentrations in soils can cause it to become highly toxic to human beings. Some common soil pollutants are lead, arsenic, nickel, mercury, copper, zinc, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. These metals can originate from several sources such as mining activities, agricultural activities, electronic waste, and medical waste. Polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. These are often abbreviated to PAH, are organic compounds which contain only carbon and hydrogen atoms, contain more than one aromatic ring in their chemical structures. Common examples of polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons include naphthalene, anthracene, and phenylene. Exposure to polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons has been linked to several forms of cancer. These organic compounds can also cause cardiovascular diseases in humans. Soil pollution due to PAH can be sourced to coke, which means coal processing, vehicle emissions, cigarette smoke, and the extraction of shale oil. Then coming to industrial waste. The discharge of natural waste into soils can result in soil pollution. Some common soil pollutants that can be sourced to industrial waste are chlorinated industrial solvents, dioxins produced from the manufacture of pesticides, and the incineration of waste, plasticizers or dispersants, then polychlorinated biphenyls. The petroleum industry creates many petroleum hydrocarbon waste products. Some of these wastes such as benzene and methyl benzene. Disposal of industrial waste is the major problem for soil pollution. Then what are the sources for industrial waste? Industrial pollutants are mainly discharged from various origins such as pulp and paper mills, chemical fertilizers, oil refineries, sugar factories, tanneries, textiles, steel, distilleries, fertilizers, pesticides, coal and mineral mining industries, drugs, glass, cement, petroleum, and engineering industries, etc. Then, what are the effects of industrial waste? These pollutants affect and alter the chemical and biological properties of soil. As a result, hazardous chemicals can enter into human food chain from the soil or water, then which disturb the biochemical process and finally lead to serious effects on living organisms. Urban wastes. Urban wastes comprise of both commercial and domestic waste consisting of dried sludge and sewage. All the urban solid wastes are commonly referred to as refuse. Constituents of urban refuses are: these refuse consist of garbage and rubbish materials like plastics, glasses, metallic cans, fibers, paper, rubbers, street sweepings, fuel residues, leaves, containers, abandoned vehicles, and other discarded manufactured products. Urban domestic waste, though disposed of separately from industrial waste, can still be dangerous. This happens because they are not easily degraded. Now, coming to agricultural wastes. Modern agricultural practices pollute the soil to a large extent. With the advancing agro technology, huge quantities of fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, and weedicides are added to increase the crop yield. Apart from these farm wastes, manure, slurry, debris, soil erosion containing mostly inorganic chemicals are reported to cause soil pollution. Then coming to the pesticides. These are the substances or mixtures that are used to kill or inhibit the growth of pests. Common types of pesticides used in agriculture include herbicides, which are used to kill or control weeds and other unwanted plants. Next is the insecticides, which are used to kill insects. Then fungicides, used to kill or parasitic fungi or inhibit their growth. However, the unintentional diffusion of pesticides into the environment, which is commonly known as pesticide drift, poses a variety of environmental concerns such as water pollution and soil pollution. Some important soil contaminants found in the pesticides are herbicides. which includes triazines, carbamates, amides, phenoxyl alkalides, aliphatic acids. The next one is the insecticide, which contains organophosphates, chlorinated hydrocarbons, arsenic containing compounds, pyrethrum. Then fungicides contain mercury containing compounds, thiocarbamates, copper sulfate. These chemicals pose several health risks to humans. Examples of health hazards related to pesticides include diseases of the central nervous system, immune system disease, cancer, and birth defects. Then comes the radioactive pollutants. These radioactive substances resulting from explosions of nuclear testing laboratories and industries giving rise to nuclear dust radioactive wastes penetrate the soil and accumulate, giving rise to land or soil pollution. For example, radionuclides of radium, thorium, uranium, isotopes of potassium and carbon are commonly found in soil, rock, water, and air. The next example is the explosion of hydrogen weapons, and cosmic radiations include neutron proton reactions by which nitrogen produces C14. This C14 participates in carbon metabolism of plants, which is then into animals and human beings. Radioactive waste contains several radionuclides such as strontium 90, iodine 129, cesium 137, and isotopes of iron, which are most injurious. Strontium get deposited in bones and tissues instead of calcium. Now let us see the biological agents. Soil gets a large amount of human, animal, and bird excreta, which constitute a major source of land pollution by biological agents. Example, heavy application of manures and digested sludge can cause serious damage to plants within a few years. Now, let us see the causes which are related to soil pollution. It is broadly classified into two categories. One is the naturally caused soil pollution. The other one is the anthropogenic soil pollution, which is caused by human activity. Now let us see what is naturally caused soil pollution. In some extremely rare processes, some pollutants are naturally accumulated in soils. This can occur due to the differential deposition of soil by the atmosphere. Another manner in which this type of soil pollution can occur is via the transportation of soil pollutants with precipitation water. An example of natural soil pollution is the accumulation of compounds containing the perchlorate anion in some dry, arid ecosystems. It is important to note that some contaminants can be naturally produced in the soil under the effect of certain environmental conditions. For example, per- perchlorates can be formed in soils containing chlorine and certain metals during thunderstorm. Next one is the anthropogenic soil pollution. In this case, almost all cases of soil pollution are anthropogenic in nature. A variety of human activities can lead to the contamination of soil. Some such processes are the demolition of old buildings can involve the contamination of nearby soil with asbestos. Usage of lead based paint during construction activities can also pollute the soil with hazardous concentrations of lead. Spillage of petrol and diesel during transportation can contaminate soils with the hydrocarbons found in petroleum. Activities associated with metal casting factories often cause the dispersion of metallic contaminants into the nearby soils. Underground mining activities can cause the contamination of land with heavy metals. Improper disposal of highly toxic industrial or chemical waste can severely pollute the soil. For example, the storage of toxic wastes in landfills can result in the seepage of the waste into the soil. This waste can go on to pollute underground as water as well. Chemical pesticides contain several hazardous substances. Excessive and inefficient use of chemical pesticides can result in severe soil pollution. Sewage produced in urbanized areas can also contaminate soil. These wastes may also contain several carcinogenic substances. Other forms of waste that can pollute soil including nuclear waste, e-waste and coal and ash. Thank you.